Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review. Next up is the Medicom Toy Mafex number 232, DC Comics, The Return of Superman, Kon-El, Connor Kent, Superboy. So here is, I want to say this is like the final figure to be released in the Return of Superman line for Mafex. The regeneration suit, the black suit Superman, that is actually getting reissued. It was already released before. I haven't reviewed Cyborg Superman. I have one on the way that I found a really good price on and I got. But we had Eradicator, that was the previous video. And then we also had Steel, that was the previous video to Eradicator. So here we have Superboy. Hopefully, and I think it's now released in Japan. I think the reissue of the regeneration suit Superman is already out, so hopefully like Big Bag Toy Store will have that soon. So I am looking forward to that. So what we have are 4 Superman, Cyborg Superman being amongst the 4. But we got Superboy here, so I'm excited. Let's go ahead and check it out. Looking at the box, we get a look at the figure there. We get another look at the figure there with his leather jacket. And then here we see him kind of posed out. We got the different head sculpts that we got and everything like that. So there we go. So Mafex Superboy is in stock at Big Bad Toy Store, right now. So if you're looking to pick up the Superboy figure, head over to Big Bad Toy Store, link in the video description below. This is a very new one. This is the most recent Mafex figure to release here in the United States, so link in the video description below if you're looking to pick it up. So there we go. Let's open it up. Let's take a look. Okay, so here's the Superboy figure out of the package, and I'm really liking it. I got the leather jacket already on there. You got the Superman logo, because he does not have a cape. No cape on here. But this Connor Kent is the original Superboy. Well, I guess technically original Superboy would just be Young Superman comic line. But this is a new character, Superboy, Connor Kent. This is a human clone. Not the same kind of later, more modern iteration of Superboy where he's like a clone of Clark and has essentially all the same powers. This particular version has no Kryptonian blood, no DNA of Clark Kent, Superman. So his powers, he has tactile telekinesis, which gives him like a force field around his body. So a couple things: superhuman strength, durability, flight, as well as he can manipulate things by touch. So I think that kind of goes along with some of the stuff in the Return of Superman comic line. So there we go. And he looks really good. The leather jacket on there is nice. The cuffs on his wrists are huge, and I think that's because of the jacket. So when you take the jacket off, it looks a little bit weird. They're kind of large on there, but looks really good. Nice design, good paintwork on here with the yellow bands around the boots, and then that leg there. It's got the belt going on in there. We get the nice Superman logo there. Looks really good. We get a couple of different head sculpts. We kind of have this head sculpt here, and then we get another one with some sunglasses there. That looks pretty good. And you can see they painted the eyes and everything up underneath it, so that's pretty nice on there. It looks like the hair is the same. The face, I'm trying to think if the head sculpt is the same and they just added the glasses. I feel like the smile, he's got a little bit of a smile going, whereas this one does not. And then we have the angry Connor Kent head sculpt there. That looks really good. In terms of hands, he's got fists out of the package. Then he also has these open hands here. He's got relaxed hands here. He's got flight posed hands here. And then he also has these thumbs up hands there. So those are all the accessories for Superboy. Let's go ahead and show you the rest of the figure. So let's pop off the hands and those wrists, and then we're going to remove the jacket. What you want to do is you just kind of want to get the arms back there, and then just kind of pull up the sleeves, and then boom, you can get the jacket off. It holds form quite nicely, so it feels like, is there bendy wire? No, there's actually no bendy wire on there, but it just holds form very nicely, so I like it. It feels good. The belt in here is really cool too. That feels like real leather. I don't know that it is or anything like that. And it looks like it is kind of glued in there. You might be able to try and take that out, but I would be very careful. But I like the way the leather jacket looks. So here we have Superboy, and you could kind of see the full suit. And then again, the cuffs, though, these end up looking quite large, and it looks a little funny to me. But again, because they would need to be bigger to fit over the jacket, as you could see. They look quite large. But I guess I don't know of how else you're gonna do it. So unless you do like a separate cuffs or something, when he has the jacket. But I think that would be kind of odd. But looking at the suit, a little black up here for the shoulders, nice blue and red in there, and you get the Superman logo, and then you could see there. So really good. Let's go ahead and jump right in to his articulation. Actually, sorry, before we jump into the articulation, I always best to show the other head sculpts on the body. So here we go. So let's go ahead and pop that one off there, and we'll get the angry Superboy head sculpt on there. That looks really good there. And then the sunglass look here. Pop that on. There we go. It would look much cooler with the leather jacket. So let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, he looks a lot cooler with the sunglass look and with the leather jacket on there, so that is really nice. Before we get to the full articulation, I am going to show you the articulation with the leather jacket on, so you guys could see kind of how much he can move and what the limitations really are on there. You can still move the arm up and down quite nicely, and then you can really move it front to back there kind of on that butterfly, so that's not really an issue there. In terms of the elbow, you could still use the solid the double joints on the elbow there. That actually still works out quite nice, and then you can still really move around, which is pretty good. So it's just not really gonna, other than that, it's not really going to hinder the arm movement or the articulation much. I will say the sleeve on the right arm seems to fit a lot tighter, to where when I try to keep this cuff on there and put the hand on there, it feels kind of loose and kind of pops off pretty easily on its own. I do not have that problem with the left arm. It's only a problem with the right arm. In fact, when I had first done a few clips at it was completely off the hand. I'm like, wait, where did it go? I know I put it on there. So it comes off pretty easily. So just a heads up on that. Again, I don't know if that's going to be my copy in particular, but that is just something that I noticed, that it just comes off a little too easily because this jacket just doesn't move as nicely on the arm as it does on the left. Again, just the right there. But still pretty good articulation. Now, let's go ahead and remove the jacket and look at full articulation of the figure. Okay, so articulation for Superboy. He can look all the way up there. He can look all the way down as well. The neck and the head are two separate pieces, which can give you some good pivot and things going on there. The shoulder, you can get to go straight on out like so. You get a full rotation in there. You got that butterfly, which allows the shoulder to kind of adjust up, adjust down a little bit. You can go back a little bit of a ways there, which is good. And you get some really, really good crossbody going there, which is awesome. You got an upper bicep swivel in there, double jointed elbow like so. There is a ball joint at the wrist, so you can swivel around and hinge any which way you need. We got the diaphragm, we got the ball joint at the waist, so kind of using them together is pretty good, because that's just the tilt of the diaphragm itself, and then when we tilt at the waist, you get some really good tilt to the left there. And then going to his right, you can tilt to his right that much there, so really good range of motion there. Going back, he can lean back that far, which is really good, and then coming forward, he can come forward that much there too, so not too shabby there. You get a swivel at the waist, of course, with the ball joint, and you could turn a little bit on that upper diaphragm there, so that works out really well. You got the drop down hip, which is kind of an insane amount of drop down there, as you can see, so it's pretty crazy. His legs can go that far apart. There on the splits, he can kick forward super duper high, as you can see there, and the leg goes back a fair amount as well. In terms of thigh swivel, Mafex doesn't do a huge amount, but you do get some in there, and I do feel like it might be less than most that we get, so you get some turn, but it is not a lot. Double jointed knee gives you that much bend there, so that's quite nice. On the ankle, you get a swivel, ball joint at the ankle, so swivel a little bit. You can hinge down quite a ways. You can hinge up a little bit. You get some nice ankle pivot in there, and then you have the toe hinge articulation there. So really, really good articulation for Superboy. It moves really, really, really well. Okay, for side-by-side comparisons, here we have Superboy next to the Batman Hush version of Superman, as I don't have any other comic book Superman Mafex figure. I have the movie Henry Cavill, but like somewhere else right now. But here we have Superman. I guess it wouldn't work for the return of Superman, but maybe if they did a death of Superman, they could do a 90s, with the mullet Superman and everything, probably with the bright red, the brighter blue and everything like that. I don't know, but this is a fantastic Superman figure, just, in case you guys were not aware. Now, I don't have all four of the Superman, right? So again, I'll have the Cyborg Superman figure. I have it on the way. I'm hoping it arrives on Monday, which is tomorrow, or if you're watching this, probably would have arrived already. I do plan to do a review of that, even though I know it's a really old figure. I think it would be really cool. But here with the three of the four Superman from the Return of Superman line, we've got our Superboy, we've got Steel, and we've got Eradicator. And as you can see, Steel is huge, and then you got Eradicator there. So we got the last son of Krypton, the Man of Steel. And I don't know if there was a nickname for Superboy. I feel like there was not. But there we go. So we have ours, and then soon I will have Cyborg Superman. So we have all of our Superman from the Return of Superman, minus the regenerative suit, which is still on pre-order at Big Bad Toy Store, and hopefully will be arriving soon, because I think I did start, I think it has hit Japan officially now. So reissue coming soon. Link in the video description below if you're looking to pick it up. Or if you're looking to pick up Steel or Eradicator. Those are also in stock right now at Big Bad Toy Store. Okay, and here's another side-by-side comparison. I didn't do this with Eradicator or Steel for some reason. I just didn't think about it, and I even had the figure right here. But here is another comic DC Comics Mafex figure that I have. This is the Batman Hush black suit version. The blue suit version is getting a reissue. I actually have that figure sitting in my pile of loot right now. My Big Bad Toy Store, look at that, Batman went down. My Big Bad Toy Store pre-order actually has arrived, even though they still have it listed as a pre-order, so I guess only a certain amount had come in, but my blue Batman there. But otherwise, it should be coming out soon, because I think that's also hit Japan as well. But you can see Superboy is quite small, quite short compared to Batman there. Okay, so just kind of posing out Superboy a little bit here. Again, a whole lot of fun. I do feel like this particular figure, Mafex, in my opinion, does the best when it comes to articulation. They have a great balance between aesthetic and articulation, and everything seems to always move really well. Now, each figure, because different shapes and things like that, and designs, you know, there are some things. But like with Superboy, when you have like a fairly plain, not super layered type of suit or anything, they just move really well. And Superboy seems to move a little bit better, I would say, than some of the other Mafex figures, for sure. But just looks really good. And the leather jacket, I love the leather jacket on there. It doesn't look too bulky or too big or anything like that. Mafex doesn't do a whole lot of soft goods outside of capes. Every now and then they do some clothing, things like some Into the Spider-Verse figures have some clothing. But the leather jacket, I just think comes out looking really, really nice. I really like the way it looks. So very, very pleased with it. Let's see if I can get into another little pose. Let's see. Okay, so here's another one. I'm pretty basic when it comes to posing around. I wish I was, you know, definitely better at it, but, you know, the basic stuff you could do, you know, when you get like a comic cover and you can kind of, you know, recreate it somewhat there. It is a lot of fun. Okay, so then using the included flight stand, every Mafex figure comes with the flight stand, so you can kind of have them in flight poses and things like that, so a whole lot of fun. So I'm really happy with that. As far as I know, this is the last of the Return of Superman figures that Mafex is going to be doing. I don't know if there's been other ones that have been teased or prototypes shown or anything like that at some of the overseas events that you know, they typically show off these figures. If there are, and I'm wrong, you guys let me know down in the comments below. I think it'd be great if they did a red and blue Superman in the line. Although, does it work for Return of Superman? If they did a Death of Superman, that would kind of make more sense, which feeds right into the Return of Superman, so they kind of would work together. Because a mullet Superman head would be cool. You know, I think, in my opinion, that would be awesome. I think they should do a Supergirl figure also. Like, why not give us Supergirl in the Return of Superman line? She played a part in it, and I think that would be cool. And then maybe the Hal Jordan Green Lantern in that green armor. McFarlane Toys just did one and released it. Maybe Mafex could do that. You guys give me your thoughts down in the comments below. Who do you think else Mafex should do in Return of the Superman line? Supergirl, I think, is the absolute must. They need to do that. But give us a red and blue Superman anyway. I'm excited to get the regeneration suit, the black suit Superman. So I'm very excited to get that. Hopefully it's coming soon. Cyborg Superman, again, I have on the way, so that's going to be a whole lot of fun. You guys give me your thoughts on this Superboy figure. I really like it. I think it moves really well. The head sculpts are cool. He's got the right amount of hands that we need. The flight stand is really cool. You know, every Mafex figure comes with it. The leather jacket, I think, is awesome. I really like that. So I'm really happy with the Superboy figure. You guys let me know down in the comments below. What do you think of the figure? Do you have it? Do you have it on the way? Are you looking to pick it up? Again, it is in stock right now at BigBadToyStore.com. So link in the video description below if you're looking to pick it up. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor. Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. And as always, thank you for watching.